All right, welcome into the show. These are teeth. These are human chompers. One second, I'm gonna mess with my OBS. Make sure my window is like showing what I wanted to show. It's like the little Anyways, okay. So I went to the dentist about a week ago, right? And I was pretty discouraged. Not the end of the world, but they told me I needed a root canal on my back left molar. I think it was tooth numbers 15, 14, 15 on the left in the very back. And I was like, oh no, because I looked at the little treatment plan. It was like it's gonna be like $2,000, which is pretty standard. And then you gotta pay for the crown as well. So you look at thousands of dollars in expenses. And because if you don't get a crown, you just got the root canal for nothing, which I admit I have done before, which was stupid. I was in college, I think, didn't want to ask my parents for the money, and I didn't get the crown, and wound up losing that tooth. But because I just sat around with the filling in, I was like, I can just get by with this because I don't ask my parents for like $2,000. But and they were like, hey, you could have, we would just pay for it. They like, you could just ask me. You losing your tooth isn't good. But when you're young and insecure, Anyways, I went to the dentist last week. They were like, you need a root canal, and I was like, oh no. So I went to get a second opinion, which is the point of this video, yesterday. And they were like, based on what we're seeing on the X-rays, they did a 360 X-ray, a regular X-ray, and a little test with the sensitivity and whatnot. And they were like, yeah, I think you just need a filling. You just have a cavity. So always get a second opinion because some dentists are thieves. I think 99% of dentists are just out to get you. Like the way they look at a root canal, I've read dentists say this on Reddit, the honest ones, the few, they just look at it as a down payment on their next whatever. They just like $4,000. But yeah, just don't fall for that. If you feel like that you may not need a root canal, if you know your teeth really well, you've done a lot of research on dental stuff, oral health, and you feel like they may be wrong, just go get a second opinion. It couldn't hurt. You pay for the X-ray, of course, but you don't have to do the treatment plan if you don't agree with it or you think they may be wrong. So yeah, thankfully I found an honest dentist yesterday. They're gonna fill that in a couple of weeks. And there's a massive difference between a filling and a root canal. Let's just find out how much they cost. Between $200 and $600. I can write that lumpy ass word Tennessee so easily. But I write about life. It's like Mississippi, Mississippi. A molar in Tennessee for a root canal between $1,000 and $600. They told me $2,000. So yeah, it's quite a difference. So yeah, man, just always get your second opinion because it could be just between you being able to fucking pay bills and not, because that's a lot of money. Most Americans can't even afford $1,000 emergency or $500 emergency for that matter.